What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, The Curious Conjurer. I'm just here today with a bit of a soapbox message to really explicitly implore you to do your family research and to do your family history. This message is for all Black folks, but particularly for African Americans, for Black Americans, for those who descend from U.S. chattel slavery, those whose family history cannot be discussed without talking about race in this country. You got to do your family history. I don't care if you're not into it. I don't care if you find history boring. I need you to fake the funk for like a couple of weeks. If you got to do a free trial on Ancestry or just pay it for 1 month, do it. Family Search is free 99. You can go on there and start doing research. Start downloading the files to your computer so you have a copy on your computer. Start building your family tree. Preferably use a third-party software so you have it in case the websites go down. Now is not the time to like mess around, because your family history is so intertwined with the history of this country, and that's true for everybody. But for Black folks and for Black Americans, we can't talk about our family history without talking about race. And since they've now determined that talking about race bothers them so much and, you know, rubs up against their self-perceptions, you know, and this kind of Mickey Mouse Disney fantasy that they have, they don't want to talk about race, which means indirectly but directly, they don't want to talk about you, and they don't want to talk about your history. We already saw how they tried to get down with Jackie Robinson and scrubbing his military history off the DOD website and then brought it back on. You know, case in point, I can't talk about my family's ancestry and military history without talking about the colored troops. We can't talk about the colored troops without talking about race, because they were segregated. That's why they were called the colored troops. So, you know, you can't get away from it. You just can't. And they're going to try. You know, there have been attacks on libraries, museums, archives. I mean, this stuff is serious. And look, best case scenario, this is just a phase and we somehow find our way back to baseline. Worst case scenario, this is the writing on the wall, and you know, it's time to start like getting serious about it, and it just gets worse from here. You know, there are things called a paper trail genocide, you know, or ethnocide, where you can, you know, basically by the strike of a pen, kind of disappear whole groups. That is the attempt here. I mean, essentially that's what they want to do. They're not going to explicitly say that, but there are a lot of like little weird, slick, roundabout ways of doing it. And as someone in this space, I just would feel like irresponsible if I didn't encourage people to do it. I assume if you're on my channel, that's what you're interested in. But if not, like, please do it. We, as genealogists of all walks of life, many of us come into this space because it's a hobby. Like, we're interested in it. It's fun. You know, we have our like day-to-day work, and then this is like what we do. But for Black folks now, specifically for Black Americans, like, this work has turned into like a form of activism and a form of political advocacy at this point. And I didn't, you know, we didn't walk into it wanting it to be that way. It just is what it is. So I guess this is my call to action, to like, for people to really take an interest in it, even if you're not. I mean, there's a great quote from a friend of mine in the genealogy space, and it's on my Instagram page. It says, and it's from Brian Sheffy, you know, I learned more about history doing family history than I did in the classroom. And it's so true. And that's, again, true for everybody. Your family history is so intertwined with the history of a country, or the place, you know, the place where your people are from. And so with that being said, you know, if there's an attack on, you know, Black history, if there's a, you know, this wanting to shy away from talking about race, then they're trying to like not talk about you. And it's time for us to like really get serious about it. You know, I don't know if we really have the luxury anymore to consider it just a hobby right now. We need to kind of start thinking about it as like real work. So please do it. I don't know if I said it earlier in the video, But Ancestry.com, obviously, I mean, you can go on and do a free trial for a week, or maybe just pay for the month. If you have the means to do so, please do it. Family Search, it's free, free 99. You can get an account for free. And start downloading those documents onto your onto your computer. Census records, birth index, all that. I mean, if you really, I can't explain enough the benefits of Civil War pension files. And again, shout out to our genealogy friend Bernice Bennett, who really was ringing the alarm about that. I have a video on Civil War pension files. Please try and get those. Those are held with the National Archives. As you know, the archives are under attack. And then some of them are also held at the VA. So that's, another story. I don't want to go down on a digression too much, but the point is, like, the records are there right now. Let's not take that for granted that they're going to always be there. And there's a lot of things that you cannot really find on a Family Search or Ancestry.com records that you just can't find them in there, but they're in your ancestor Civil War pension file, like if your ancestor fought in the Civil War. So there's all kinds of records out there, and we gotta really start collecting it and downloading it. I could go on and on and on about this. I don't want to make this a long video, but please do it. Like, please get serious about it. Maybe get together with your family. Graduations are coming up, Mother's Day, Father's Day, whatever, and get serious about doing it. So thank you for listening. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now, but stay curious about your family history.